All right, guys. Hey, this is Uncle Dallas. As you can see, we have a different studio. We have some things going on. We have some situations happening where we're trying to make some wonderful things happen for you who is not going live. All right. All right. Who's not working? Somebody's not working. Okay, somebody's not working. We'll see who's not working in a minute, won't we? Let's see. Where's my Instagram? Instagram is probably not working, but TikTok is working. Okay. It says something is not working, guys. Give me a second. I know YouTube is working. YouTube YouTube is my bomb, so they are working. So I'm going to miss somebody today. Yeah, YouTube is not working, but it's here. So if you can make it to YouTube, make it to YouTube, guys. I think my Instagram is not working, and so we're going to try to clear Instagram up and fix Instagram, but YouTube is here, and we are ready to do what we got to do. Today we are going to stay on the subject of, today we're going to stay on the subject of your victory in that thing. And so what I want you to understand is a lot of the victories that you deal with and a lot of things that you deal with, and we're going to check Facebook too, a lot of things that you deal with are not because somebody was bad or there was a bad person around you. What it's about is people understanding who you are. And so what happens is people don't really qualify to be in your world. I know a whole bunch of people are going to look at me like I'm crazy, but people don't really qualify to be in your world. But what we do is we let them in and we give them rights to be in that place. So it's Instagram. I work on that. So we really give them rights to be in our lives when they don't have the right to be in our lives. And so what happens is we walk in this place where we believe, and Instagram is a good person too. Okay, stop the broadcast. Finish the broadcast, and create a new broadcast. So give me a second, guys. I'm gonna just fix this while I'm sitting here, and I can. We walk in this place where we allow people into our lives. I was going to do this whole thing with the tabernacle and all those kind of things, but we walk in these areas where we let anybody that can or anybody that wants to come walking into our lives, and it messes up the whole move of our lives. And so what takes place is we find ourselves wondering, well, why did he leave me? Why did he leave me? What did I do? How did this happen? And once we find out that it really had nothing to do with us, we find ourselves in a position where we now go, okay, so why did he do that to me? Or why did she do that to me? Or why did they do that to me? And so within that, you now find, okay, what do I do now to put myself in a position where I can operate at the level where God is? And there we go. All right, now that should be everywhere. God, I'm learning this technology so well. I'm so proud of myself. So that should be everybody. Yeah. All right, now that should be everywhere. God, I'm learning this technology so well. I got to get right here, guys, because they can't see me. So that should be everybody. Okay, there we go. Yeah. There we go. No, there we go. That should be everybody. All right, now let's make sure that. All right, now that should be everybody. I'm learning this technology so well. I got to get right here, guys, because that should be everybody. All right. Yeah. Now. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, but it's okay. It's okay. Y'all can switch that. You got it? We're good. Okay. We're wonderful. I'm sorry. Why this thing's not going down? Shoot. Okay. Now, back to what I'm saying. So now we let people in our lives that don't really qualify to be in our lives. And today we know I use the King James Version of the Bible. The people don't really qualify for our lives, and they move in areas and they think they're in areas of our lives because we give them the feeling that they should be in our lives. They should be at our disposal. And a lot of them, they don't really deserve our disposal, but we give it to them for whatever the reason may be. Now, for those of you that are going to write down things, I want you to write down John, the First John. Now there's the Gospel according to John, then there's the book written by John. There's First John, Second John, and Third John. First John, the 4th chapter and the 4th verse. That should be easy. First John, 4th chapter, 4th verse. It said, "Ye are of God." Now, when you look at this passage, I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. He is now talking about your identity and that identity and how that identity is supposed to be occupied and operated in. Occupied and operated in. And so when he talks about that, you see him explaining the process of, and not so much the process of elimination, the process of how to operate or how to come to another conclusion in that situation. He said, "You are God's little children." And I'm going to get into it. "And have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world." Here's what I want to do. Overcome them. Overcome them. One of the very interesting things about being who we are is once you begin to operate in the spirit and in the spiritual realm, you will realize that your value increases. For lack of a better term, all hell's going to break loose. For lack of a better term, all hell is going to break loose when you get to the point that you begin to walk in the spirit. When you begin to walk one with what's taking place in the spirit, all hell's going to break loose. Now, why is all hell going to break loose? For a number of reasons. Just a number of reasons. Reason number one, all hell's going to break loose because everybody's going to want to stand on their conviction in this dimension. Well, what about the Bible? What the Bible say? Or what? Everybody's going to want to stand in their conviction. They want to stand in the position where they look smarter than you, or they look like they're greater than you. Well, you know what? Because I watch people operate at a level where they are trying to look important. They're trying to look valuable. People come on my live all the time. Well, you know what? Jesus is dead. What was the purpose of you saying that? What was the purpose of you coming on this live with these people and saying that you want to look important? It's not the truth, because see, the key to a truth is someone is willing to prove the truth to help people live better. That's the key to a truth. So you will hear people come on and that you know they don't qualify because they want to say things that don't have value but gives them value. Well, I studied. Of course you did. But they don't understand the spirit. When you understand the spirit, you understand that the spirit is not trying to say you're better than me or I'm better than you. It's simply saying there is a greater way to live your life. There's a more powerful way to live your life. But when you live that life, as you start to transition out of one thing and begin to transition into something else, what you're going to realize is the naysayers and the haters and the immature and the unspiritual are going to do everything in their power to begin to try to make you not move forward. Now hear me very closely. Everybody is a spirit. Everybody is a spirit. It doesn't matter if they believe they are or they don't believe they are. And what we're teaching here at the Higher Standards Organization, we're not teaching you about denominations, because people tend to put religion, God, and denominations all together. So when you go to church, that's what. So I'm not religious. I don't go to church. What does that have to do with religion? Have to do with going to church? I don't go to church and I'm not religious. They're two different things. And so when people say, I'm not religious, I don't go to church. Why? What does that have to do with anything? If you want to say something, you will say, I'm not a part of the structure, I don't go to church. But saying I'm not religious and not going to church is actually not true. Because religion is what you serve. Believe it or not, some of you serve your children religiously. Some of you serve your cars religiously. You serve your sicknesses religiously. Some of you are operating in religion that you probably don't even understand that is religion. And so what happens is you then begin to question who you are because of the people that don't qualify to speak into your life. And that little, out of that whole scripture, and have overcome them. And it's simple, and have overcome them, and have overcome them. Do you know that the major situations that are happening in your life are happening because you allowed something in your life to speak to you that wasn't qualified to speak to you? The major situations that are happening in your life, you let something speak to you that didn't qualify to speak to you. There's a green line. Y'all see me flittering? You let something come into your life that didn't qualify to be in your life. And the reason you did it is because there was something in your life that hurt, something in your life that didn't feel good, something in your life that didn't feel balanced, when that was what God was trying to do in the first place. He was trying to get you off balance with the things that were going on in your life. And so what happened to you is you decided, because you were off balance, you said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something to make me feel balanced. So I'm going to dress up and go to the club and meet a man. I'm going to go outside and buy me a brand new car, and I'm going to meet a woman. I'm going to just let the doctors tell me whether I'm sick or not. I'm going to let people talk to me any way I want to. I'm going to let my mother treat me any way she wants to. You go through all these situations so that you can qualify, so you can be balanced. And what you do is, once you get out of the spirit, ladies and gentlemen, you attract two people: unspiritual people and predators. People that are looking for your lack of strength. People that are looking for the fact you don't understand what you are. People that are looking for who you are supposed to be, or who you think you're supposed to be. People that are looking for you to act spiritual and know that you're not, because they can come to you and they can act spiritual too, and they can take advantage of you. People, you have to make sure the folks around you qualify. I'm looking for something, because I can now walk off. The people, you have to understand, do they qualify? I have my screen over here. I can actually look at my computer over here. Why? Anyway, doesn't matter. Computer over there. You follow me? Do they qualify? And so how do we know that they qualify? There are a couple of things that you have to understand when it comes to their qualifications. Now, here, the reason I have this is because on this situation right here, this little thing right here. Oh, I'm sorry. This little thing right here. Sorry. I meant that. So this, I can do some things with this, but if they don't qualify, so I say something. A young lady called me up one time. We were doing a one-on-one, and she said, "You know what I like, Uncle Dallas, that you say that's really cool." She said, "You say to them, I don't talk to people that aren't spiritual, or I don't debate with people that don't operate spiritually. I don't debate with them. And the reason I don't debate with them is because they don't qualify to speak at the level that I speak. And what you're going to find as you begin to move spiritually, a lot of people don't. Your relationships are changing. Your situation is going to change. Everything's going to change to you, because what you have to realize is, when you move from religion, from Christianity to spirituality, all hell is going to break loose. Why? You have to stay in that structure. Everybody else's structure, why are you so special? Why do you get to walk out of the structure? Why do you get to walk around and do what you want to do? Why do you get to be whatever you want to be? Why do you get to say what you want to say? Because bound people hate free people. And you can tell it. So that's why I don't get mad. I don't argue on the line and start going, "Oh my God, you don't understand." You don't qualify. Now, for some of you, that's going to be very difficult to say. For some of you, it's going to be very, very difficult to understand. But the bottom line is, you don't qualify. And when you understand that you don't qualify, then what you'll understand is also that you don't let people come in your life that don't qualify. You follow me? Now my monitor's over here. I can see you guys over there. You follow me? So what happens? Can I make this deeper? Can we go a little bit deeper? Y'all mind if I go a little deeper? Okay. I got a new set. I can go deeper. Okay. I got a new set because I like that. Yeah, I like that. So you don't qualify. So now here's what happens. You come into this thing, you walk in and you go, okay, I want to be a part of the spiritual move. I want God to bless my life. I want God to be in my life. I want God to show me some things in my life. And so what happens is, you come into the church. For some of you come into the church and the preacher's talking right, everything's right, and it feels like a family. And the whole time you're being created and conditioned to be less than the pastor. It's not something they're attempting to do. You're qualified to be less than the pastor. Okay? Let's do this, guys. Let's get this. So you're qualified to be less than the pastor. So what you do is you operate at a level that makes the pastor look like he is valuable to your life. He is in position, but he's not in growth. Well, he is in growth, but not in position. I'm sorry. He is in growth, but not in position. Now, what do I mean by that? His position as a pastor is just as important as your position as a member or a parishioner or whatever you want to call yourself. But In growth, he should be giving you instructions to how to get to the next level. In growth, he should be giving you information to get you to the next level. Period. Now, if he is or he's not, that's not what I'm saying. So you come in broken. And now this is what somebody asked me about the organization. I said, now instead of you living this wonderful life, you're living this life of brokenness, being reminded that you are nothing, being reminded that you're an alcoholic, you were a drug addict, you were a prostitute, or whatever you want to call it, a working woman, a working girl. You've been reminded of that. Why? Because that keeps you in position less than who you are. What you have to be taught, and somebody said, what's the difference in a higher standards organization? My concern is not where you came from. My concern is where you're going. If where you came from rises up, we'll deal with it. But you have had enough people tell you that you're black, that you are white, that you are old, that you're dumb, that you're young, that you have COVID, that you don't have COVID, that you're going to get old when you're 65. You've had enough people telling you where you came from. Anything that happens yesterday has to qualify to be in today. Anything that happened yesterday has to qualify to be in your today. Somebody write that down. Anything that happened yesterday has to qualify in your today. Stop letting people and things come into your today just because they're there. Just because they're there. Seriously? Really? Just because they're there? Anything in your yesterday, that means from yesterday 1963 to yesterday February 3rd. It has to qualify. This is why I tell you guys to take notes and write stuff down. This is why I say write stuff down. Why? Because what you do is you make a contract, remember? So what you're doing now is saying, okay, these things qualify for tomorrow and qualify in being today. Qualify. Okay, I qualify to make sure I find the right book. I qualify to make sure I'm moving toward my $10 million. I qualify to make sure I get the right information, the right structure for. Those things that come out of your past do not qualify. They don't just automatically come over. And when they do come over, they come over because you allow them to come over. Well, I was sick yesterday. Well, you're less sick today. I didn't feel good yesterday. Well, then you should feel a little better today. Whatever you have breaking your fast. So those things, anything that happened yesterday does not qualify for today. Let me see what I got here. So, first thing you need to understand. Second thing you understand. First thing, anything in your past, that's number one. Write this down. Will, you're writing. Number one, anything in your past does not qualify for today. That's number one. I'm going to help you fix this. Anything in your past doesn't qualify for today. Number one. Number two, nothing makes itself qualify. Nothing by nature of what it is except the Spirit of God. Well, that doesn't qualify. That's you. That's who you are. Nothing by nature qualifies to be in that position. Ladies, I just said something so deep, you're not going to get it, but you're going to get it now because I'm going to make sure you get it before you leave me. Nothing by nature qualifies to be in your life. And there are 3 levels of your life. We'll deal with that a little later. There is nothing qualifies to be in your life by nature of it being what it is. I keep writing this down because a friend of mine named Lawrence said something to me. He said, that's just the nature of water. I think that's what he said. Nothing qualifies to be in your life. I mean, nothing bogarts itself. Nothing makes itself be qualified. A man does not qualify to be the head of you until he qualifies to be in your life. You don't qualify to submit to him until he qualifies to be in a submissive position. Y'all didn't catch that. Okay, let me say that again, ladies. Ladies, he doesn't qualify to be submitted to until he submits. I get that. So nothing, number two, nothing is qualified by nature of it just being a thing. So the number two thing is nothing makes itself qualify. Nothing. It doesn't make itself qualify. Nothing by nature of its life, by nature of its existence, qualifies to be in your life. Okay? Let me make that make sense, because you're looking at me like I'm crazy. My wife was coughing last night because she had some phlegm, mucus going down her throat. And so she went to bed, and when she got up in the bed in the morning, I told her, I said, we speak against that cough. Why? The cough doesn't have to come to today. Well, what if I'm still coughing? Then you need to realize that cough is on your territory unrighteously. It is trespassing. It is trespassing. You need to understand that anything that makes itself come to the next day is trespassing. It is not qualified to be here. And I don't care what, when you guys get this, your world will change. You were sick yesterday. It doesn't qualify for you to be sick today. Tracy said, I caught that. Anything, that's why he said his mercies are new every day. Anything that makes itself qualify is operating against the law. It is trespassing. It's trespassing against you. Imagine this. Somebody walks into your house and you got this beautiful white furniture. And they're all dirty and they're standing at the door. They got dirt dripping off of them. They got red clay dripping off of them. And her fingernails not done. His hair is not done. And they want to come and sit on your white sofa. Do you let them in? No. They don't get in because they don't fit the character and fit the environment that they're going into. They're making themselves go into. Can I get deeper? Let me get deeper. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to go deeper? Because I think y'all need to understand this. Here's deeper. Here's deeper. Your job is not to make sure your auntie's all right, your grandmama's all right, your mama's all right, your sister's all right. That's not your job. If you take on that job, it goes for as long as you want it to. When you're done with that job, you let that job go because they don't qualify to go any further than you allow them to go further. So when you get to a person and they talking about you, I don't understand why my mother doesn't like me. I don't understand why my dad doesn't like me. You have let something that doesn't qualify find its place in a position where it qualifies. And then you complain about it. Why? Because you have already overcome them. 1 John, 4th chapter, 4th verse. You need to write that on your thing and you need to underline that. He's bringing that from Deuteronomy. It said, you're the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. Above only. So you have made people qualify to be in your life that don't qualify to be in your life. Why? Oh, because I want to be like my family. I believe in family. If you believe in family and family doesn't believe in family, you got a problem. It doesn't qualify. All right? Now let me let you take you a little deeper because I'm trying to get everybody. You want to start a business. What happened yesterday is you didn't finish on whatever you're supposed to do. You're supposed to work on your book. You're supposed to do whatever you decide to do, and you didn't do that. So the fact of procrastination does not qualify to be in this situation. You made procrastination qualify. It doesn't. You don't have procrastination. You just decided what you were doing is not important enough for you to start working on it now. They said, oh my God, I had a friend, one of them said, oh, I'm just such a procrastinator. No, you're not. You never have been. Well, yes, I am. Do you sit or lay in the bed and just use the bathroom in the bed and not go to the bed? Go to use the bathroom? When you're hungry, do you just lay there and starve to death? You don't procrastinate. It's not valuable enough for you to do it. You don't believe this is going to work. So procrastination is an adaptive attribute. You adapt procrastination. You adapt procrastination. Unless you sit there and don't eat, don't go to the bathroom, don't go to the store, don't go buy yourself stuff, you're not a procrastinator. You're distracted, but you're not a procrastinator. So why you take this procrastination spirit on so long that it becomes an attribute and an excuse to say I'm not doing what I need to be doing, it's not procrastination. It's you've allowed yourself to say what I want in my life is not important enough that I'm going to put some time behind it. And so what you've done, follow me now, what you've done is put yourself in a position where the things that you like, you have made them an unconscious movement so that you can accomplish them. The things that grow you, you've made them an option so they don't happen. But when your ability to grow and your survival instinct, and you go, why is everything happening? Why is my money falling off? Because God's trying to get you out of this thing to say you're procrastinating and start moving in the position where you go, you're not procrastinating. You're not even lazy. What you are is deciding that what you have right now is not important enough for you to give it attention. But they've given you an excuse to say it's procrastination. Oh yeah, you procrastinate. You can have that one. That's your excuse. But you don't procrastinate. There's no value to it. It doesn't qualify. It was yesterday. Just trying to hook you up. It doesn't qualify. And so what happens is, because it doesn't qualify, what you find yourself doing is allowing yourself to be lazy, because it's a good excuse to not do it. Can I take that a little deeper? So what you deny is your spiritual ability that God gave you. And you tell God, no, thank you. I don't need you in this area of my life. So you know what that is? That's called sin. That's what that's called. That's called sin. Now, I'm a shock and awe kind of person. Everybody go, sin. Because you say sin is all sin. Oh, no, I'm not sinning. Yeah, you are. That's what Hebrews 12:1 was all about. Lay down, cast down imagination. We're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, so let us lay aside every weight and the sin that does so easily beset you. And you're going, wait a minute, how does a sin beset me? A sin besets you because it stops you from doing what God naturally created you to do, because you don't want to do it anymore because of all the pressure that happens with that, because you brought it from yesterday. God says your mercies are new every day. So when you got up yesterday and you procrastinated, go, God, I'm free. You stop procrastination. You just got delivered. You just got delivered that quick. Didn't have to do anything. You're delivered. Be free. Hallelujah. Bless him. Number 3. Do I need to go deeper than that? Did y'all get that? Everybody got that? Everybody got that? You got that? Okay, everybody got that. Okay. So, nothing is qualified by nature of it just coming in. Does that make sense? Somewhere I have some sound going on. Well, nobody said I was echoing, so I'm not worried about that. Nobody said I'm echoing, so it doesn't matter. And so what happens is, everything you bring from the past is more powerful than it was yesterday. I had a friend of mine, and she was dealing with a man, and he was abusing her, verbally abusing her, and I told her to let him go. So she let him go. They went and did whatever they got to do. A couple of months later, she called me. She said, "We back together." I said, "You know he's going to put his hands on you." She goes, no, he's different. He's different. No. See, when you don't deal with the issue and make it qualified to get here, it feels like it's okay to do what I did back there again here. And I told her the same thing. And eventually they broke up because he tried to put her head through a wall. And she called me about it. I said, run. She runs. She gets free. She got another husband. She has another man. I don't know if they're married or not, but she got another husband. And I want you to hear that, because that's a shock and awe. That's how important. That's how tragic it is for you to bring something from back here and then give it give it qualifications, or give it a right to be here, or qualified to be here, when it has no reason to be here. Check this out. Y'all ready? So you have and let's just deal with something. You have COVID. Some people say they ride COVID out, but do you know, the more you ride COVID out, the more it either gets worse or gets better. When you treat things that came from yesterday, now, other side. Number three. Treat things that try to get into this world like they are the enemy. Anything that tries to qualify, they are the enemy, and you're to deal with them without prejudice. Almost felt like I want to shout. That was for you, Will. You deal with them without prejudice. That's what casting out is all about. That's what casting down is all about. You deal with them without prejudice. You deal with them without prejudice. You don't belong here. Get out. He's standing there in front of your living room, your beautiful white living room, and he's got mud on his clothes and he wants to come in and he's pushing his way. And the moment, first thing you're going to do, I'm going to teach y'all how to do this. I'm going to teach y'all how to do this. I'll write this down for y'all. Let you write this down. Write this down. Y'all ready? Okay. First thing you do when you are pushing that thing out of you, first thing you do is you declare. You declare, stop. Stop it. That's the first thing you do. First thing you do, you declare. When that thing tries to come from yesterday, the first thing you have to do is declare. Anything that attempts to come from yesterday to today, and does not qualify to be today, you first declare it. You don't belong here. You do it verbally because you have the declaration. After you do that, then you do it spiritually. That means you begin to pray. You begin to intercede. Why? It does not belong here, and God has got your back because it doesn't belong here. I don't care what it is. See, when you get up in the morning and pray, and all of a sudden you still feel like, wait. You deal without prejudice. You got an AK in there. You're not going to come in my house and do whatever you want to do. Don't make me go get the nickel plate. Don't make me put the 9 on. Don't make me glock this situation. Don't make me do it. There's a line I love in Will Smith's on Wild Wild West. He said, don't make me put my hand where my hip be at. You are to deal with those things without prejudice. Mama coming over talking a whole bunch of mess. Baby, I'm sorry. I love you, mama, but I'm a grown woman. You're not coming here with that mess. Without prejudice. Girl, I don't want to talk about nobody behind their back. If you coming over here with that mess, I'm sorry. Without prejudice, you got to go. I don't care who you are. You don't come in here with that mess. You don't qualify. That's why Uncle Dallas don't deal with people that are not spiritual, because you don't have enough doggone knowledge to understand what I'm talking about, and you don't have enough experience to deal with what I deal with. So the fact that you understand a scripture and you went to church one day a week and the Bible told you something and the pastor validated does not qualify for you to come here. So watch yourself. Because I love everybody. God is love, and they that love are of God. That's how you deal with it. When you get up in the morning and your foot was hurting the same way it was hurting yesterday, you deal with it without prejudice. Listen, foot, we don't do this. Today, pain goes away. We don't deal with this. Well, I'm still hurting. Stop punking out and start dealing with it. Without prejudice. Number 3, they don't come in and they try to push their way in. You got one more step, bro. I'm just letting you know. I'm not even going to give you a warning shot. You get so deep in the spirit that nothing around you that is against where you are even wants to come close to you. Without prejudice. Why? Because you have let this stuff be in your life for so long that you thought it was supposed to be in your life. Let me help you out. Ladies, and I'm going to deal with men too. Ladies, because he has dated you for 15 years, he's not your husband. He's not even your man. He hasn't qualified for it yet. So he doesn't get all the benefits of being married. Oh, would you cook me some dinner? No, I will not. Why? You don't qualify for that. Brothers, just because she's laying it like she laying it and she doing all this kind of stuff and go, well, I'm just not ready. Then you're not ready because you don't qualify. There are people that are supposed to help you. Well, I can't help you today. Then you don't qualify to be right here. Well, I just want to know. There's no just want to. You are on a path for the greatest life you've ever had. The reason you don't have the path for the greatest life you ever had is because you're carrying around junk that you don't even need to be carrying. Don't go nowhere, y'all. Hold on. That's what I like about having my stage. That's what I like about having a stage. How do I look preaching with this on? How do I look preaching with this backpack on? Everybody's backpack and I'm leaned all over. You carried around junk that does not belong to you. You carried around stuff that does not belong to you, and you're going, my life is so terrible. Why is your life terrible? Because you've allowed stuff to qualify that does not qualify. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I got a little upset. I'm not going to tell you who this person is, but she's my girl. We talked last night, one of my counseling sessions, one of my meet and greet sessions. I kind of meet and greet those people that are part of the organization. One of my meet and greet sessions last night, we talked for an hour. For the whole hour, all this person talked about was their family. And then my cousin did this, and then my auntie did this, then the auntie did this, and I'm kind of sitting there like, are we going to talk about you? And then my sister did this, and my brother did this, and my dad did this, and this did this, and that did this. And I said, so are we going to talk about you? And finally they said, no. I said, you spent an entire hour talking about all the things that your cousin did to you, your uncle did to you, your auntie did to you, a whole hour talking about that stuff. I said, you don't have a problem. There is nothing wrong with you. You don't have a problem. And they said, no, Uncle Dallas. I said, you don't. You have Uncle Dallas, Pastor Dallas at your disposal all for a whole hour. Nobody bothers me. You can ask me what you want to ask me. You know I'm a man. I'm mature. I'm spiritual. Say what you want to say. And all you talked about was your family. How many people are like that? You're so concerned about the family center that you think that you putting attention into that thing to try to make them be in a position they were in will help them. Let me tell you what will help them. And some of you, tell me if this is logical or not. Okay? Tell me if I'm making sense. All right? Tell me if I'm making sense. Okay? You ready? Okay. You were trying to get your cousin to be obedient to his mama, get your brother to do what he's supposed to do, get your auntie to do what they want to do, and do that what auntie want to do to them. So you got two options. Option number one, you can keep encouraging them, we need to be one, encouraging, we need to be one, encouraging, we need to be one. But imagine this. You go to the grocery store and you find a little card and the lady says, it's yours. The lady says she didn't want it, it's yours. You look on it, it's a lottery ticket. That lottery ticket ends up going to be $50 million. How fast you think your family going to get together then? How many people you want to encourage then? See, we want to encourage from the bottom up. Instead of saying, I've made my position clear. If you want to come up here, here are the qualifiers. Number 4, go to a level that is above those that don't qualify. Number 4, move to a level that's above those that don't qualify. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you an arrogant person. It makes you a spiritual person. Lazarus was the man that Jesus loved. When Lazarus died, that means when Lazarus left here, Jesus didn't rush to his side like we all would rush to his side if Lazarus died or our best friend died. He knew that he was more powerful than whatever was on Lazarus. I almost shouted then. He knew he was more powerful than whatever was on Lazarus. So he did not have to rush. He can continually to take himself to the next level and not have to worry about it. And so when he went to Lazarus, all he had to do is call Lazarus to the next level, because Lazarus went to the level of the lower level and God spoke and said, Lazarus, come forth. So Lazarus came forth. When you get to the point, you're carrying these people around. God, I know you think that your family is not going to make it. I know you think that they're going to be looking at you going, oh my God, why did you do this? And why did you do that? I'm sorry. My wife and I moved to this place. Once we moved to this place, we are in the place, we enjoying the place, and we left everybody. Just said, we out, we gone. We left. And when we left, Nobody came with us. So we empty nesters. We basically do what we wanted to do. So we traveled, ate, did what everything did. And one by one, each of the family members came out here. When they came out here, they were encouraged because they go, wow, this is a nice place. The view is nice. The food is nice. The clothes are nice. All those. And each one of them moved up a different level. Kendra, our son decided he wanted to have a nicer car, so he went and got a $70,000 car. Our mother-in-law, everybody, when we got to the next level, began to feel encouraged to say, if they can go, then I can go. That's your job. Go you into all the world and preach the gospel. Everybody wants to go knock on doors and start telling people they need to get saved. That's not it, my baby. My baby Matthew says, go be a light on the top of a hill. You know what? Y'all think I'm joking. Go be a light on the top of the hill. You know why your family's not following you and they're talking about you? Because you're just like them. What time is it? You're just like them. And in their mind, they go, why would I listen to you? You the same as me. We got the same mama, same daddy, same that. But we ain't got the same spirit. And until you prove you got the same spirit, you are still like they are. You are still like they are. And so what they're going to look at you and say, wait, wait a minute, I'm supposed to listen to you, right? I'm supposed to listen to you. Matthew, the 5th chapter. Matthew, the 5th chapter. It says, ye are the salt of the earth, but if your salt loses its savor, wherewith shall it be salt? Okay. Okay. The salt stands out. There is something as salty food, then there's bland food. Wherefore it loses savor, and therefore is good for nothing but to be cast out and be trodden under by foot. They don't see your savor. Anyway, ye are the light of the world, a city setteth upon a hill that cannot be hidden. You're the light of the world. So you are their light. So you are the light of the world, a city that cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but the candle light, it gives light unto all that are in the house. First line 16 said, let your light so shine before men. Stop trying to convince people to follow you. Move to a level then higher than the people that don't qualify, and they will learn how to qualify. Am I making sense to anybody? Am I helping somebody? Because I'm learning this, because as I'm living it, I'm learning it. Let me tell you about Uncle Dallas. So Uncle Dallas wants to start an organization. Let me back up. Uncle Dallas didn't want to start an organization. God spoke to Uncle Dallas to go to an organization, and my friend Will starts saying, hey, you got to do what God tells you to do. And I'm going, Will, I don't even like you anyway. I don't even know why you're talking to me. I don't know why you're talking to me. So I began to work on the organization. So I went from 124 followers, because I said yes to God, to 35,000 overnight, to 168,000 right now. Here's what's funny. I don't know what TikTok has done, but TikTok won't let me go over 168,000. Well, God has done his work. I'm not bothered by that. It doesn't bother me, because I got 168,000 potential people that I can help. So I'm good. And so, well, you need to do 15 lives a day and do, I don't follow the algorithm, because in order to get where I had to get, I didn't follow the algorithm, I followed God. So if I follow God, the algorithm didn't make a difference. So I don't have to do the do. I don't have to do any of that. Why? Because the algorithm I have is a spiritual algorithm. So then God says, I need you to start a church. I don't want to start a church. Why? I had to deal with all my fears, all my disappointments, all the things that bothered me. I didn't want to be a pastor, because pastors have never done the right thing, because they never teach us spiritually. Then I had to realize that's just a percentage of it. It may not be a large percentage of it. I had to realize that tithing was never something for God. I had to realize that God never told the woman never told the woman to love the man or love the husband as she should. I had to realize that tithing was for the poor, giving was for the wealthy. I had to realize that the first 3 chapters of Genesis were not pointing toward Adam being a great man. They were pointing toward Adam qualifying for Eve. And he began to tell me this stuff. He began to tell me that there are 3 levels of spirituality. Christian is the most church is the most immature part of it, and they're supposed to be. Then he said Christianity is still immature, because you feel like you got to labor. Then he said the only place that everybody needs to be is godly, which is spiritual. So son, I need you to teach them how to be spiritual. Then I'm going, right, because I'm so spiritual. You chose because I'm Mr. Spiritual. Why? I'm doing a business consulting firm and I'm not spiritual at all. Yes, I love God. I always love God with all my heart. Now, I wasn't smoking, drinking, or any of those things you qualified as sin. That's another discussion. I was just a brother that did not want to be bothered with church, nor church ethics or rules or structure or rituals. He said, you're the perfect person. I don't think so. He said, yeah, you're the perfect person. You're exactly who I'm looking for. Why? And so now he begins to unfold this thing. He said, do a spiritual retreat. And everybody that comes, I'm going to change their lives. But I already knew that when he said that, your finances are going to go crazy. Why? Because you are about to tap into a new world. A world you've never been a part of before. What time is it? Good. A world you've never been a part of before. Now, I couldn't tell you this then. I can tell you this now. If you were told by God to be here, you focus on what needs to get done and God will open a door. He will. Don't say, well, no if. Stop ifing and I'm trying. There's no if and no try. I was talking to a young lady. She said, well, every time I do something, I try to shut up. No, you don't. Close your mouth. That's how you shut up. You don't try to go, let me not say nothing. No, shut up. Why? Hear me now. Because it's not about being here for the retreat. It's about moving from this place to this place. Why? Because you lived under unqualified people for so long, you don't think you qualify. You live by people that don't know how they should be running their lives. And when God begins to give you structure, you don't know how to move in that area. You begin to look at how they run their lives and think that's how you're supposed to run your life. You look at how they run their life and you think that's how you're supposed to run your life. Check this out. So what you do is you go spiritual, mind, and body. But you've been living in body and mind for so long that you think that's how you're supposed to live. So I don't feel like getting up. That's procrastination. No, honey. That's not procrastination. That's a spirit. You need to cast that mess out. Because you think you're supposed to feel this thing. Your mind. You keep thinking, I'm supposed to understand it. I can't tell people, I don't understand what God is doing. Why do you have to understand? If someone gave you everything you needed, would you need to understand? Well, yes. Why? You don't need to understand it. You need to know that it's valid. So, I got about 10 minutes. So when you understand that and when you begin to move into that dimension and move into that area, you realize that God has placed you in a position of light. He didn't place you in a position to be like everybody else. There's an old, I think it's an African proverb that talks about the chicken and the eagle. You're an eagle and you're hanging around chickens. Why? Because you don't want to be by yourself. And so you decide to hang around people that are less than you. And then because you say that they're less than you, you feel arrogant or you feel like you're being self-centered. Why? You're not supposed to say that. Who says that you're not supposed to say that? I'm supposed to be humble. Your job, oh my God, I heard this last night. I'm just being humble. I'm so humble. Under who are you? You are not. I'm sorry. I almost went off when they said this. Your job is not to be humble to man. Your job is not to be humble to man. That's not your job. Your job is to be humble under the mighty hands of God, and he will exalt you in due season. So that means that if Uncle Dallas says something you don't understand, your humility should not say, I'm going to just do it. Your humility should say, I'm going to send him a text message and say, okay. Now, you don't have to be aggressive or mean or all that kind of stuff because that's all fleshly stuff. But you don't have to stop and say, well, since Uncle Dallas said it, I guess that's real. How many pastors have you done that for? How many times have you gone, my pastor said this, my pastor said this, my pastor said this, and God goes, what? Who told him? You don't humble yourself to anybody but God. Everybody else is equal to you. Everybody else is a human just like you are. Now, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be boisterous. You don't have to be arrogant. But you got to be human. So you got to get out of spiritual and be human. So that's not going to work for you. So that means you have to listen to whatever God tells you. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. There's no need to. Why? What am I getting upset about? He said something I didn't understand. Okay, get understanding. With all you're getting, get understanding. With all you're getting, get understanding. I learned that because I learned that God was doing something for me that I didn't know that he was doing. And so he told me to start the church. And once he told me to start the church, and I'm going, what am I supposed to do? I was afraid. I'm afraid of being called a pastor. I'm afraid of what are we going to do for money? What do we say when it comes to taking care of certain bills when it comes around the church? I'm not requiring people to pay tithes. I don't want to go into a building that we owe money on and we got to go, I need a building for. I don't want to. If I love God and I serve God, why wouldn't God bless me? Why wouldn't God bless us with a building? He's blessed me with cars. He's blessed me with homes. Why wouldn't he bless me with a building? Why wouldn't he do that? Because that's what I'm talking to him about. I told him what I want. Now, here's what's crazy about that. Today I got a phone call before I got online. Hey, I want to understand the structure because I want to help you build the structure of the organization. Really? Yeah. My wife said, we having churches? No, Sunday will be called Sunday sessions. And on Sunday, you will be taught. If I get intense, I get intense, but I will not be yelling at you and screaming at you and spitting at you. If I'm intense, I'm intense. On other days, we'll have situations that will come and people will come in and talk to you about business and talk to you about how to run your household, how to get investments, all those kind of things. That's what a Bible study should be about. Somebody takes this book and say, listen, I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you how you can go in here and figure out how to start your business and what you need to do about your business and teach you about rules and regulations and contract law and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because if everybody in the church is prospering, then they'll help other people prosper. Prosper is not you saying, God, I'm standing here waiting for a dog with a bag of money in his mouth to come and stop by my door. There are three laws that are given to the three laws that are given to you as a human being, as a spiritual being. Three laws. Prosper, be in health, as your soul prospers. That's your life. That's who you are. Prosper, be in health, as your soul prospers. Then you take the law of qualifying. You don't let people qualify. Don't come in your life that don't qualify. So you live above the person to qualify. And lastly, before we go, the last one, I think it's number 5, the number of grace. Always make sure you stay qualified. Always make sure you stay qualified. Always make sure you stay qualified. Why? Because your ability to stay qualified gives you ability to allow those people to come into your life to stay qualified. Always stay qualified. So we got ready to start the organization. There are a couple of things people ask me to say, what do you believe in? So I'm going to lose people, I'm going to gain people, but I'm going to tell you everything that I believe in. Tell you what Uncle Dallas believes in. Uncle Dallas believes in that you have to receive Christ into your life, and he's the most valuable part of the triune body of the Godhead. I believe that the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are one. I can teach you that, and I can show you that in the Bible. I believe that you are able to speak in tongues. I believe it can be interpreted, and I believe it not can be interpreted. I don't believe that you have to have a speak in tongues to qualify for heaven, because it's evidence. I believe that there should be a leader over every flock. Let me not say flock, because I don't believe in flock. There should be a leader over every movement, and I believe that leader should be a forerunner. He should not be a dictator, meaning I tell you what to do, but he doesn't do it. So I can't say that I want you to believe God for something, and I don't believe God myself. I believe in baptism. I believe in water baptism. I believe that angels can show up and that they're around. I believe that Jesus Christ can show up anytime he wants to. I believe that angels are still on this life. I believe in devils. I believe in demons. I believe in being cast out. I believe in casting out devils. I believe in all of that stuff. I believe that this is the uncut, uncompromised word of God. Now, I don't believe that I have to follow everything in here according to everything is the way it looks in here. I don't believe that. I believe that you should be a Christian. I believe that you should go to church. I don't believe that you are the church. I believe that you are the tabernacle, and I believe that when all you come, or the temple, when all you come together, you create church. I don't believe that you are church because you're human. I believe you're church because you're gathered. I believe in the uncompromised power of God. I believe that there are gifts. I believe that there are some people that can prophesy, that can see in the future. I believe there's some people that can be apostolic. But I also believe that I'm more a child of God before I'm any other assigned title of God. That's what I believe. I love God with every fiber of my being. Every fiber of my being, I love God. With every fiber of my being, I love God. And I do not take down, I don't take back. Now, within all that, I believe that the Spirit of God and the Spirit of you are correlating to make you godly. I believe you're the God of your situation. I believe that if your situation has a challenge, you need to ignite the fact that you are the God of your situation and begin to handle that situation. I believe that you elevate more and more in the Spirit. You grow beyond church, you grow beyond Christianity, and you move into spirituality. I believe that denominations have separated us in such a way that we don't even see people anymore. We see titles. The Baptists can't like the Church of God in Christ. You literally can't love your brother because he goes to a different denomination. I believe that's the biggest lie in the entire world. The second biggest lie in the entire world is that you are less than me because I'm the pastor. I believe that there are positions and there are situations. I don't believe that there is a hierarchy. I believe that people have learned, and because you say your name is doctor, you say your name is bishop, you say your name is pastor, which reason I didn't want it, that makes you feel like you're better than me, or I feel like I'm better than you because I'm bishop such and such, or I'm doctor such and such. There are people right now in your mind that when I say bishop, you see their name beside it because they don't want you. I believe that you don't have to be called the title bishop, pastor, evangelist in order for you to operate the way God wants you to operate. I believe all of that. And the reason I believe all of that, ladies and gentlemen, is because I understand the Spirit of God. Now, are you ready for the rest of it? What time is it? We're doing good. We got 4 minutes. None of that I just said means a hill of beans if I'm not spiritual. Everything I just told you means nothing if you're not spiritual. Let me repeat myself. Everything I just told you means nothing if you don't operate in the Spirit. So please don't come at me like, well, what do you believe? I just told you what I believe. But trust me, when we're in the Higher Standards organization, listen, there are people that follow us that are Catholic. There are people that follow us that are Muslim. There are people that follow us that don't even believe in God, but they sit there, keep going through it. Why? Because when you understand that spiritual doesn't have a face, it doesn't have a denomination, it doesn't have a creed, it doesn't have a ritual. It has an innate ability to place you in a position where you are exactly what God wants you to be, and he can use you the way he wants you to be used. Don't care what you believe. Some of you are being used by God, don't even know it. Why? Because spiritual is what we all should be. That's what I believe. That's how I believe. And that's what I understand in my belief. Just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, guys. That's enough of that. My name is Uncle Dallas. I hope you guys really enjoy the new studio. My name is Uncle Dallas. Yeah. So let me explain. Okay, so those of you know, this is the back. This is the back. This is that window that you guys normally see. I don't care. It's TV magic. This is that window. TikTok people can actually see this whole thing. This is what we do. Now, this is the desk we talked about. Let me see. I'm going to do something really crazy, so y'all be careful now, because I want y'all to see something, okay? All right, here we go. Watch this. Okay, that's the desk. That's what it looks like. There it is. That's all that. But I pull it down so that I can actually read what I want to read. So it's right about here. I get it right about there. All right, that's the desk. We have cameras here, here, and here, and eventually those cameras will work out. I am on a software program that is under the camera that lets me do things like this and things like this. Notes will be over here normally. When I get that, I got to get the camera straight because my TikTok people, they're a little off center, and I can begin to put my notes up under here. Now, that's that. I appreciate everybody for being a part of us. I appreciate everybody for coming in and joining us. I thank you for taking the time to hear what God has said. But those things, listen to them again, go back over the video, watch it over and over and over again until you get it into your life. A lot of the things that are happening in your life are happening because people that are qualified, don't qualify, are in your life. So get that thing in your heart, get it in your mind, get it in your spirit, get it deep inside of you. And if you want to ask questions or be a part of the forum, we always stay on Instagram and TikTok so that we can answer questions. The reason I do that because my YouTube needs to stay around an hour because I don't need people that are 5 and 6 hours, even though some of the information would require it. And the same thing when it comes to my Facebook. I do not want you to be in a situation where you're there all day. So if you can get on either Instagram or TikTok, we will be able to have questions and answers. So I appreciate you for joining us. You at YouTube. Do not forget the retreat is April 8th through the 10th, and it is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tickets are going through the roof. If you want a double occupancy room, get your deposits in. The deposit is $250. And so that will qualify you to hold your position. The retreat you will have food, you will have fun, you will have teaching, you'll be one with me, we will all be together, and we're gonna have some other fun. You get your t-shirts and all kinds of stuff. It's a whole movement. There's one particular pastor that I want to come. I don't know if I can get him to come or not. And I'm working on trying to give away one pass to it. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna let those qualify, because there are a lot of people that probably need it, but some of you probably need to just go on and put your faith out there and let God do it. So we're going to pray about that, all right? So those of you that are on YouTube, I love you guys. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? She's enjoying the session. Watching now. Ouch, says Tracy. You're speaking absolute truth. All right, guys. You guys on YouTube, shift over to one of these two platforms so we can talk to you. All right? I love you. My name is Uncle Dallas. This is the Higher Standards Organization, and you've just been taken to a higher standard.